Ever wondered what it's like to be a famous teen in Hollywood? Passing auditions, red carpets, and, well, a pregnancy no one saw coming. Yeah, seems like some of our favorite actresses were secretly navigating pregnancy cravings, even before they graduated high school. But how did they keep it away from you? And what was their story? Did these Hollywood actresses have a choice, or were they rushed into motherhood? Number 20, Anna Nicole Smith. Anna Nicole Smith's life story is one of both victory and tragic drama. Before she became a famous personality, she was a high school dropout working at a fried chicken restaurant. She met her first husband, Billy Smith, during that time, and they actually tied the knot when she was just 17. A little while later, she had a son, Daniel. But the marriage did not go long and was unhappy. But Anna Nicole loved her son very much. Tragically, Daniel died from an accidental overdose when he was 20. Anna Nicole was devastated by the loss of her son. Her ex-boyfriend said that she passed away a few months later from a broken heart. Despite her difficult beginnings, Anna Nicole became a hugely successful personality. But the tragic death of her son haunted her till the very end. Her story shows how weak life can be and how powerful and immense a mother's love could be.
I hope he doesn't get mad at me. I'm not going to say your name, I promise.
No one watches this show. We're on very late at night. Don't worry about it.
Number 19, Solange Knowles. Did Beyoncé just love having her teenage sister become a mom while she was busy dominating the music industry? While most teens are planning for prom, Solange was planning for parenthood. At 17, she married Daniel Smith at the start of 2004. Shortly after, they welcomed their son, Daniel Jules Smith Jr., and traded sunny shores for the snowy streets of Moscow, Idaho, where Daniel attended college. Talk about a dramatic change of scenery, right? While her sister Beyoncé was lighting up stages worldwide, Solange found herself in a world of no achievements. No sleep, complete dedication to my son, and wondering if my dream still had room to grow, she later revealed in one of her interviews. After her divorce in 2007, Solange could have let her struggles define her, but instead, she curated those experiences into her praised album, A Seat at the Table, a captivating window into her resilience and personal growth. Rather than letting the past hold her back, she channeled raw emotion into powerful, transformative art. But what was it about Solange's journey that she channeled so compellingly? How did she turn her personal struggles into something so artistically meaningful? Solange's ability to take challenges and create impactful art from the darkest places is a testament to her artistry and determination. And the best part? She and Daniel found their rhythm in co-parenting, proving that sometimes life-challenging chapters lead to the most cherished stories, don't you think?
I think a lot of the courage just comes from seeing and creating work that I wanted to see when I was a young girl.
Number 18, Kesha Castle-Hughes. Isn't it inspiring when a 17-year-old defies society to become a mom while secretly pretending it's easy? That's exactly what Kesha Castle-Hughes faced. At just 16, when most teens were tense about their homework and high school drama, she found out that she was going to become a mom. The news came in as a huge surprise. But here's the twist: Kesha felt ready instead of being anxious. Along with her boyfriend, Bradley Hall, they prepared to welcome their baby. But here's where things got complicated. While she was glowing with excitement, the outside world wasn't complimenting her, but throwing judgmental views against her family. Ever wondered about having to hide your joy because others think you should be sad? Well, that was Kesha's reality. As she carried her daughter, Felicity Amour, whispers and judgments followed her literally everywhere. Isn't it concerning how easily people can turn someone's joy into a heated issue? Kesha became a mother at 17, proving that the heart can know what it wants, even when the world disagrees, an inspiring testament to her courage in defying societal expectations and following her own meaningful path. What hurts more was the challenges of being a young mom and having to pretend that she wasn't happy about the biggest role of her life. Her story reminds us that sometimes the most beautiful chapters of our lives don't follow other people's good books. Number 17, Sally Field. Why do you think Sally is sharing her teen mom story now, after so many years? Sally Field, the famous actress, in one of her interviews talked about the most difficult situation she has faced in her life. Curious to know what could have happened in this beloved star's life that she's been so hesitant to share? In 1964, when Sally was just 17, she found out she was pregnant. And here comes the twist. At that time, abortion was not legal in the United States of America. Sally describes her illegal abortion as traumatic and hideous. The process was extremely frightening. To locate a clinic that would perform the procedure, she had to travel to Mexico with her mother and a family friend who worked as a doctor. I wonder how scared a young woman like Sally must have been to do that. Sally entered the clinic by herself, carrying only an envelope containing cash. The surroundings were unclean and uncomfortable. In actuality, Sally experienced extreme pain and fear during the abortion because there was no medication to dull the pain. Now, many years later, Sally finally talked about her story. Why does she feel it's important to share this very personal experience? Well, Sally wishes to pay tribute to all the women in her generation who face comparable difficulties. Additionally, she is using her platform to urge voters to back candidates who will defend women's freedom of choice, such as Kamala Harris.
I didn't know what was going to be. And then I found out I was pregnant.
Number 16, Chelsea Handler. Two important events that occurred when Chelsea Handler was only 16 years old have influenced her life. What personal decisions did the famous personality make as a teenager? And what were its consequences? Chelsea's parents had taken her to Planned Parenthood to have an abortion when she became pregnant unexpectedly at 16. Chelsea has said that she felt parented throughout the procedure, even though it was a tiring and emotional time. After the process was finished, she finally felt at peace. She later wrote in Playboy, "I never look back and think, God, I wish I'd had that baby." But here comes the twist. Chelsea had to deal with an unintended pregnancy twice when she was still a teenager. She was in a similar situation a year later and decided to have an abortion once more. In her own words, "We all make mistakes all the time. I made 2 mistakes when I was 16 years old." What was going through Chelsea's mind? Chelsea's interest to speak about these experiences shows her dedication to integrity and her support for women tribe over their bodies. In what ways have these significant past experiences influenced Chelsea's viewpoint and support for reproductive rights? If you think this is the worst that could have happened to someone, then you are wrong. Hang in there as we have more dreadful cases towards the end of this video. Tired of expensive, low-effort script writers for your YouTube channel? Autoscripter.ai is the ultimate solution. Say goodbye to low-quality, poorly retention amateur scripts that fail to generate thousands of views for your channel. At a fraction of the cost, Autoscripter.ai helps your videos go viral. In just 3 steps, Autoscripter.ai creates a polished script tailored to your needs. Just input your title concept, select your tone and style. The intuitive interface makes editing and refining effortless, fast, smart, and trusted by hundreds of satisfied users who have already discovered the amazing tool. Start your free trial today and watch Autoscripter.ai transform your YouTube channel. Just click the link in the video description below now. Number 15, Evelyn Lozada. At 17, reality star Evelyn Lozada gave birth to her first child, Shanice. However, Lozada didn't have her second child until the next 20 years, and then she was blessed with a son named Carl Jr. Lozada talked openly about the unusual experience of simultaneously raising a newborn and an adult daughter in 2016. She accepts that raising her second child was like starting over because she felt very different from raising her firstborn. When Shanice was born, Lozada was a 17-year-old girl who didn't worry about anything. However, Lozada claims that at 40, she is more in tune with motherhood. At times, she feels tired from taking care of her toddler son, Carl Jr. It's for sure a unique situation, but how Lozada managed it was very pleasing as she understood these were the phases of motherhood. What special pleasures and difficulties did she face while simultaneously raising a young one and an adult one? Lozada's parenting experience shows us that with strong motivation and patience, anyone can overcome any obstacles and raise amazing ones. Number 14, Kerry Washington. How do you redefine your life when the man you've known as your father isn't really your biological parent? This tragical question was addressed in Kerry Washington's recent memoir, which reveals a life far more subtle than her polished Hollywood personality would imply. Few celebrities have the guts to open up about their abortion experiences as Washington has done. The scandal actress portrays who was going to a doctor's office under a false identity because she was scared that her personal decision would ruin her successful acting career. It's an insight that highlights the pressures that young talent encounters when their career goals and personal problems collide. Washington's story has even more twists and turns. Her struggles with different eating disorders reveal the unseen difficulties of the entertainment industry. In a society where jobs are determined by appearance, Washington's open account of her journey provides a unique window into the psychological and mental costs associated with aiming for success. The most shocking discovery, though, may be found in her family history. Her identity was rocked when she learned that the man she had known as her father wasn't her biological parent. Washington was asked to reconsider all of her already known information about her family and herself after this life-changing discovery. Shocked by these facts? The upcoming facts will blow your mind as Washington puts these personal struggles into her success story throughout her record. Every disclosure offers a new perspective on how she developed the depth of feeling that would eventually make her one of Hollywood's most attractive and successful actresses. Her story is about how life's greatest difficulties can be turned into opportunities for remarkable success, not just about mere surviving. An interesting doubt for readers getting ready to dive into her book is this: how did these unseen difficulties influence the Kerry Washington of today? Her readiness to open up these personal details not only quenches curiosity, but also gives others going through similar struggles hope and perseverance.
This happens. A lot of women do this. This is a form of healthcare. This is okay.
Number 13, Roseanne Barr. Roseanne gave birth to her first one, Brandy Ann, when she was just 17 years old. She had given another family to raise her child because she was too young and not very prepared to be a mother. Although it was extremely hard, she and Brandy Ann unexpectedly reconnected years later. Then, when Roseanne met Bill, her life took a good turn. They fell in love while he was working at a small Colorado motel. After getting married, they had 3 children together: Jake, Jennifer, and Jessica. After 16 years, they broke up despite their brief period of happiness. And here comes another twist, as Roseanne jumped into a new marriage with Tom Arnold, who had good humor just 4 days later. He had made jokes before her programs years prior, which is how they had first met. He got a job writing for her TV show because she loved him so much. Despite their past efforts, they were unable to put forward their family line. 4 years later, they also split up. Roseanne found through all the ups and downs that families can take many different dimensions. Some are created, some are inherited, and some are rediscovered after being lost.
I think it kind of all just sort of happened and it's no one's fault.
Number 12, Janelle Evans. Unexpected events can occur in front of thousands of people. When Janelle Evans first gave birth to her son, Jace Van Evans in August 2009. At 17, MTV's cameras documented every moment for 16 and Pregnant. Under the spotlight, Janelle was trying to adjust to her motherhood while most teenagers were making plans for their senior year prom. Shortly after her son was born, Janelle's high school sweetheart and Jace's father, Andrew Lewis, left, giving the story its first hard turn. However, that was only the start of the complicated journey. Janelle made the difficult choice to give custody of Jace to her mother, Barbara, since she was unable to handle the demands of motherhood. The complex Cold War between mother, grandmother, and child was depicted on Teen Mom 2, where their story was told for years. As time went on, Janelle welcomed Kaiser and Nathan Griffith, followed by Ensley and David Eason. However, Jace's tale was far from over. After 14 years, Janelle was able to get back the custody of her firstborn in March 2023. However, in August 2023, Jace ran away twice, posing new problems. The most dramatic reality TV scenes aren't always planned. Sometimes they simply show life as it goes by, one surprising chapter at a time. Think you've heard it all? The next chapter takes an unexpected turn.
My intentions were never bad. I always tried hard to fight for you. I just feel like you were robbed from me as a baby.
Number 11, Britney Spears. Did Spears make the right choice, or would she have kept the baby if it had been entirely up to her? In the late 1990s, Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake were one of the top young stars who dated. At 17, Spears became pregnant with Timberlake's child without any prior warning. At the time, Timberlake didn't want to become a father. He told Spears that they were not prepared to become parents. Spears agreed not to have the child because Timberlake didn't want one, despite her little hope that they would one day start a family. Spears admits she is sure if she made the right choice. She later says that she might have kept the baby if it had been up to her alone. She did, however, respect Timberlake's opinion that they weren't prepared. A few years later, in 2002, Spears and Timberlake called it quits. People are now curious about how that pregnancy trauma affected their relationships and lives, as Spears discusses it in her upcoming record. The young couple appears to have been going through a bad time.
You know what? It's all about trust, and he loves me and I love him, and we just try to work it out.
Number 10, Jourdan Dunn. Jourdan Dunn, a young model, was hit with a life-changing decision at the age of 18. She was pregnant. She wanted to talk to her mother, who was the most important human in her life, as she struggled with this sudden problem. Dunn collected the guts to sit down with her mother and to tell her the news. It was the hardest thing she had ever had to do, according to her account. When Dunn's mother found out that her daughter was pregnant, she was angry and upset rather than happy, just like any other mother would be. Given that Dunn was still a teenager living through the early stages of her successful modeling career, the revelation had come back as a shock. However, as Dunn would learn later, this unintended pregnancy would ultimately have a significant impact on how her life unfolded. She would go on to welcome her son, Riley, and pursue her career as a model while embracing the joys and challenges of motherhood, all with the help of her loved ones. Dunn's frank recall of this crucial occasion is a moving reminder that even the most precious and glamorous lives can be impacted by unforeseen detours. Her experience demonstrates the fortitude and resiliency needed to deal with such drastically changing situations. However, it is important to avoid wondering how Dunn's mother ultimately responded to the news. What difficulties did Dunn encounter in the field as a young, unmarried mother? And what lasting effects did this encounter have on Dunn's outlook on love, life, and her developing career? Fans are excited to hear more about this life-changing period as Dunn continues to share her story.
I would do Michael Kors, I did Oscar as well, and it's just exciting to be here with all these big girls as well, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Number 9, Farrah Abraham. Remember when Farrah Abraham was 17, pregnant, and starring in a reality show? Because nothing says great life decisions like filming your teenage pregnancy for the world to view. Her boyfriend died in a car accident shortly before the birth of their child, which made her story extremely dreadful. After the birth of her daughter, Sofia, in 2009, Farrah was featured on Teen Moms, another program on MTV. Along with other young mothers like Macy, Amber, and Caitlin, she was on it. But here's the twist, though. In 2017, Farrah was fired by MTV after 7 years on the show. She began curating adult films and became extremely cruel to the TV crew, which is why this happened. On her last episode, called Choose Your Path, Farrah posted on social media that she was done with MTV. She said Teen Moms wasn't really helping teen moms anymore. Seriously, just funny how things work out in reality TV, isn't it? Number 8. Kathy Ireland. How did a pregnant Kathy turn the end of her modeling career into the start of a brand empire? She was only 17 years old when she got hitched and became a mother, barely older than the child herself. However, this adolescent start would help her become a person who could overcome any obstacle in life. For example, her second pregnancy. Kathy handled the uncertainty with remarkable calm when the doctors arrived with the disturbing news of a serious diagnosis of Down syndrome. She opted for hope over fear and declared, "God doesn't make mistakes." Her youngest one, Chloe, would later complete her family, and her daughter, Lily, who was born healthy, joined her son, Eric. Pregnant Kathy felt her modeling days were coming to an end. While most would have freaked out, she saw a ray of hope. She began with a single pair of socks and went on to create what would grow into a huge brand empire. Through all of these phases, from adolescent mother to business magnate, Kathy found what she views as the most difficult yet rewarding journey in her life: motherhood. She and her husband, Dr. Greg Olson, demonstrated that sometimes life's most surprising twists lead to the most amazing outcomes. Number 7. Loretta Young. Secrets were frequently hidden behind the glamoring lights in Hollywood's heyday. None was more unexpected than the events of a 1935 train ride that permanently changed the life of teen mom movie star Loretta Young. Loretta knew she needed to act quickly after learning she was expecting a child. In the 1930s, being a single mom and a devout Catholic could destroy her entire career. She therefore found a brilliant yet tragic scheme. She named her newborn daughter Judith, after the saint who provides support to those in need after giving birth. But here comes the plot twist. Shockingly, she adopted her own child a few weeks after placing her in an orphanage. Years passed before Judith, who went on to become an actress and author, chose to come clean in her book. Loretta became so upset about this that she didn't speak to her daughter for years. It's truly amazing to think about how different things were back then, when a mother had to pretend her own child was adopted just to keep her career and reputation safe. Number 6. Naomi Judd. You may undergo more hardships in life than you ever imagined you could manage. Pregnant at 17, Naomi Judd's successful journey defied societal norms, providing the heart's power to forge its path despite challenges. When she gave birth to her daughter, Winona, she was still in high school and only just a few weeks away from graduating. Naomi was left to fend for herself after the baby's father left town. Ashley, her second daughter, was born in California after she wed Michael Simonella. There was a great deal of pain behind Naomi's smile. She was only 3 years old when something terrible happened to her, leaving scars that would haunt her for years to come. It was made even more difficult by being a very young mother. Then, however, a miraculous event occurred. Together, Naomi and her daughter Winona found that they could create lovely music. They rose to fame in country music as the Judds. They returned for one special show to celebrate the new year in 2000, despite Naomi's health issues, forcing her to stop performing in 1991. In her later years, Naomi helped people in need by sharing her story. She tragically died in 2022 after a protracted battle with mental illness, leaving behind a legacy of hope and music.
My mama loved you so much, and she appreciated your love for her.
Number 5, Nicki Minaj. What did Nicki disclose about the terrible mistake she and Aaron made and the hefty price they had to pay for it? Nicki Minaj has never been afraid to walk away from the raw realities of her life, and in her documentary, the famous rapper is set to open up about a very personal and dreadful experience from her past. Curious to know what this personal chapter from Nicki's life was? When Nicki was a teenager, she had to make a big, unexpected choice. She was dating her ex-boyfriend Aaron when she became pregnant at the age of 15. The rapper discusses the death of her unborn child in her song All Things Go, writing out that the child would have been 16 by now. Given the demands of an unwanted pregnancy and her evolving career goals, what internal conflicts must Nicki have been dealing with at such a young age? According to reports, Nicki discusses this traumatic chapter in greater detail in the documentary, admitting the gravity of the terrible mistake she and Aaron made, and stating that they had to pay for it. Beyond that initial meeting, Nicki is open about her 10-year-plus relationship with her ex-boyfriend, Safari Samuels. Despite Samuel's suggestion, Nicki made the decision to devote all of her energy to achieving her hip-hop objectives. What made Nicki make that difficult decision? And how did it affect her amazing career?
I couldn't record sexually explicit songs while I was pregnant.
Number 4, Kathy Najimy. When Kathy Najimy had to make a choice that would change her life and future, she was just 19 years old. What unexpected difficulty did the college student encounter, and how did she respond to this highly personal situation? Kathy describes how she became pregnant by her ex-partner while she was still a student. Kathy got medical advice from a really mean, bossy bully doc, who rather than providing her with compassionate care, tried to embarrass her for her activities. He remarked, "Well, you got yourself into this. Do you know what you're going to do next?" Kathy recalled, "Yeah, I'm going to have an abortion," the strong young woman said firmly, knowing exactly what she had to do. After this occurred years later, Kathy expressed concern that other young women might have encountered the same doctor and questioned whether they were swayed by this person who really didn't care about their life or their health.
That's not an easy decision to make, but I kept thinking about the other girls who would come in here.
Number 3, Jamie Lynn Spears. Did you know that before she became known as Britney's little sister, Jamie Lynn Spears was carving out her path to stardom at a remarkably young age? Jamie Lynn, who was born in Mississippi in 1991, began acting at a very young age and made her debut in her sister Britney's films. However, it was as the star of the Nickelodeon's All That she truly made her success. She went on to land her own show Zoe 101 and became a teen idol in no time. When she announced that she was pregnant at the age of 16, though, her career took an unexpected turn and caused quite a commotion in the entertainment industry. She took a break from the limelight to raise Maddie, her daughter. She has resumed acting in recent years and even put out country music. Additionally, she has been more talkative about her relationship with her well-known sister, especially during Britney Spears' highly publicized battle. Many people do not know this, though. What incident led to Zoe 101 abruptly ending its run at the top of the charts? You might be surprised by the answer, which isn't what most fans initially believed.
I just hope she knows that, I was doing everything I could if that was the last thing that she lived, you know?
Number 2, Shirley Temple. Did you know that America's most famous child star was once so popular that a non-alcoholic drink was invented just for her concern? And it's still ordered in bars and restaurants today. In 1932, curly-haired dynamo Shirley Temple made her cinematic debut at the age of 3. Millions of people were cheered by her upbeat singing and tap dancing during the Great Depression, when many Americans were facing hardships. Those cute ringlet curls, she had exactly 56 of them, and her signature song, On the Good Ship Lollipop, became iconic. It's amazing that she had already starred in almost 40 films or more, won an honorary Oscar, and was earning a greater amount of money than the majority of adult actors when she was 12. However, Temple made a smooth transition into an entirely different career. Can you guess what it was? Unlike many child stars, she became a part of the U.S. diplomatic service. She demonstrated she was much more than just a pretty face by serving as the U.S. ambassador to Ghana and Czechoslovakia after she retired from her career. Most people don't realize that there's an interesting story behind Walt Disney's decision to provide shorter handrails at Disneyland. This choice had a great impact on the legacy of this talented woman. The legacy of Superwomen continues as we are going to Next Teen Mom.
For those of you who want to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award, start early.
Number 1, Sofia Vergara. How do some people turn life's earliest challenges into stepping stones? Take Sofia Vergara's story. She wasn't playing by any regulations when she became pregnant as a teenager. Instead, she was nurturing her own. Her life took an unexpected twist shortly after she gave birth to her son, Manolo Gonzalez Ripo Vergara. In recap, Sofia's honest review of her experience resonates strongly. She learned to balance life's hardships much earlier than most, don't you think? Between the daily headaches and the rewards of being a young mother. But here's the twist that will make you smile. Her unlikely career spark was her 5-year-old son, Manolo. He turned to her while they were watching TV casually and said, "Mama, you're funnier than her." That unassuming remark from her young son set Sofia off on a path that she had not dared to take. A dream. She at times feels sad of not being older when Manolo was born, but she never lets those regrets stop her from her success. Rather, the mother and son formed a really good bonding. Who would have guessed that her greatest challenge would turn out to be her motivator in disguise as she pursued success?
And then he was going to close the door, and he turned around and said, "Don't forget to dress like a mom."
And that's a wrap, guys. Thanks for watching. These 20 Hollywood actresses proved that life in the spotlight isn't always as glamorous as it seems. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more surprising Hollywood secrets. See you in the next one.